wife and I moved back to Delano about 10 years ago with our twin daughters, Kate and Claire. Our night out was going to the theater, our little Broadway in Delano, if you will. So we saw a lot of different kids grow up within the theater, and we wanted to expose our kids to the theater as well. After 10 years of this, however, I got a little tired of the squeaky chairs with the little kids sitting next to me making noise throughout the whole production. And we couldn't hear things clearly because we knew that there was not quality sound systems within the auditorium. So, well, it goes back to many years. A good friend of mine, Joe Saliska, and I have been in bands our whole lives. It got to a point where Joe mentioned something about, we should play, but let's just play for benefits. Let's try to help make things happen. I thought, wow, I have a benefit for you. So he and I actually got together with Bob Roy and had a discussion about getting a new sound system in the auditorium. So we had some conversations, and then we got a hold of the school district, and lo and behold, there was a couple people within the district that wanted to renovate the entire auditorium. So it's really something we could get our arms around. Well, then it came down to fundraising. We've both been in a band that was very popular around the Delano area called Butch Automatic and the 4 Speeds. Most people, generations, know about Butch Automatic. So the thought was, how about bringing back all the original members, one now actually being the mayor of Delano, and playing the old rock and roll. We'll take all the proceeds and donate it into this auditorium campaign and see where it takes us.
As you can see, the group that's in here right now using the theater couldn't use the sound system in here, so they kind of had to bring their own. This area on the back of the theater, which is actually a mezzanine area, was added sometime after the theater was originally built to accommodate more seating. But unfortunately, when they did that, they didn't add any speakers. So with the renovation, we're hoping to add ceiling speakers back here so that the folks that sit back here can actually hear what's going on. Additionally, we want to put in a hearing assist system, which will help people who are hard of hearing enjoy presentations more as well. Welcome to the catwalk. We're looking down on about the 3rd row over there, so no spitballs. But anyway, these are our good old-fashioned lighting fixtures that we have here that you can see are getting quite aged. And the problem with that is not only a bit of a safety issue, but the fact that we can't get replacement light bulbs for some of these things anymore. One area in the stage that we'd like to deal with is the floor. Right now it's actually a poured concrete floor. And theaters are really not set up to have concrete floors for a number of reasons. For acoustics and for how it is on the kids' legs and shin splints and all that kind of good stuff. It should be a wood floor. And actually this floor was meant to be covered in wood, but for some reason it just never got done.
The theater is very much a classroom. And not only just as a theater, but as an auditorium. Because when you start to think about what do we teach, well, it teaches literacy. And not just reading and writing, but listening and speaking. And it is so important to get students the speaking part and the listening part, the technical as well as the creative.
The importance of what they're learning and the skills that they're gaining has been amazing as far as the confidence that they have in everything that they do.
My arts experience in Delano was a big part of my youth. As my dad used to point out all the time, that the only two things I cared about growing up, and probably still, are baseball and music. And so I spent a lot of time in that auditorium. The arts can have such a great effect on students, and it's not just the creating of music or art or whatever, but it's all the other things that they've proven go along with it. You see study after study showing how people who love these test scores, the programs and the students that are in the arts always score higher. And you look at some of the other benefits we're teaching. We're teaching communication, we're teaching nonverbal communication, we're teaching teamwork, we're teaching leadership. All these things we can do in our programs that you can't do on a bubble sheet.
Students are going to take great pride in being able to perform in a facility that they deserve.
This is something we know needs to be done, and we're going to get it done as a community together.
I still remember in the mid-'80s when I was the lighting guy, we flipped a coin to see who had to touch certain lights, because there were certain lights upstairs that if you touched it, you couldn't feel your arm for the next hour or so after the shock shot through it. And I'm hoping that light's not there anymore. But if it is, this is a great opportunity to get rid of it.
Please join Butch Automatic and the 4-Speeds in supporting the Delano Auditorium transformation. This exciting project will greatly enhance theater, music, and other community events and provide our students with an up-to-date and safe facility for learning and personal growth. Please consider making a contribution to this community effort. Together, we can make this happen, because the show must go on.
And now, on with the show.